Welcome to another Hangout Spot webinar. Today we are presenting on teaching social smarts, a focus on healthy hand washing habits. Before we dive in, we want to take a moment and introduce ourselves as the co-founders of the Hangout Spot, a social skills development center. My name is Justina Balzar, and my partner Megan Cave and I are board certified behavior analysts, or BCBAs, who practice the science of applied behavior analysis. In short, that's the science of learning and behavior. I started out in this field over 15 years ago, working directly with learners on different home ABA programs, and I fell in love with what the science had to offer. From there, I pursued higher levels of education, and in 2014, I became an assistant behavior analyst. I then followed up with my master's in education and curriculum and applied behavior analysis from Arizona State University, and in 2016, I became a BCBA. I have experience working with learners of different profiles and diagnoses across the ages of 3 to 18 years old and across a variety of different settings. I'm also very passionate about sharing our science with others, and have founded an online public figure persona called Behavior Chick, as well as co-founded the ABA Advocacy Project, both of which can be located on Facebook. I was a selected presenter at the 2018 Autism Education and Awareness Forum, and have also authored and co-authored articles for Behavioral Science of the 21st Century blog and Autism Parenting magazine. My partner Megan Cave received her master's in education in curriculum and instruction for severe disabilities from Boston College, followed by her postmaster's BCBA certificate from Endicott College. She has experience as a BCBA provider both in public school and in home settings, was a former special education teacher, and has over 14 years of experience working with children with special needs. She also co-authored articles for Behavioral Science of the 21st Century blog and Autism Parenting magazine, as well as served as an adjunct faculty member at St. Joseph University, where she taught courses in applied behavior analysis. She is the recipient of numerous scholarships and awards, and the co-founder of the ABA Advocacy Project, as well as a selected presenter at the 2018 Autism Education and Awareness Forum. Together, we founded Connecticut's first center, using the fundamentals of science to teach social smarts. At the Hangout Spot, we believe that all children have a right to meaningful reciprocal relationships with others. As such, we strive to eliminate barriers to friendship and empower children to be socially successful across the lifespan, using the principles of applied behavior analysis. Everything we do is rooted in research, empirically validated, and proven to work. We conceptualize critical, previously considered tricky to teach skills through a scientific framework. And in doing so, we achieve socially significant change for our clients by providing the support that they need to develop real connections with others beyond the walls of our center. So let's dive into talking about hand washing habits. The reality is that children are major germ carriers, and in light of coronavirus, hand washing skills are an absolute must when it comes to keeping kids and the people around them safe. But if your child is reliant on a constant reminder to use soap or considers the quick rinse and run to meet the definition of hand washing, this strategy doesn't offer your family maximum protection. A healthy hand washing habit must be developed. And here at the Hangout Spot, we specialize in social skills instruction. With that comes teaching children healthy habits, because knowing how to keep your body clean and safe is critical to making and keeping friends. So we've put together a parenting guide for helping your child develop healthy hand washing habits. Follow these behavior analytic steps to stop the spread in your home today. Let's start by telling your child about the hand washing rules. The CDC has outlined 5 critical steps for hand washing success: wet, lather, scrub, rinse, and dry. But some of these words are big and confusing, so put them into kid-friendly terms. Instead of lather, tell your child to make bubbles, and substitute rub together for scrub. Post the steps near the sink and include photos for visual learners. Check out our Hangout Spot helper for a free printable download. So we all know that telling children the rules doesn't always mean that they will follow them. And knowing how to recite the rules back doesn't always mean that they are contextually able to apply them. So providing a rationale does increase the effectiveness of teaching. And what a better way to explain why hand washing is important than a quick science experiment. Fill a small dish with water and have your child sprinkle pepper into the water. Explain that the pepper represents germs, and germs make you sick. Now take turns dipping your fingers into the water. Ew! You will be covered in germs almost instantaneously. Now, have your child dip another finger into the soap before immersing into the water, and watch what happens next. Have your child take a closer look. The germs will immediately disperse, leaving your child's finger healthy as can be. Model hand washing. Children learn by imitating other people's behaviors, so be sure to wash your hands regularly and thoroughly. And verbally describe each step as you complete it to provide repetition over time. Children are often motivated to speed through self-care routines in hopes of getting back to whatever they were happily doing before. Let's curb that get it done quick attitude by teaching your child how to know when he or she can be done. Teach your child to sing happy birthday twice before turning off the water, or pick his or her favorite song instead. Or leave a timer set to 20 seconds by the sink, requiring your child to set the timer and wait for the beep before finishing up. Cue frequent hand washing by setting a timer for an hour. When the timer goes off, teach your child to drop everything and find the nearest sink. Praise children for complying with the reminder. You might even consider providing random rewards when you catch your child hand washing when the timer goes off, like a few extra minutes of TV time or a second story before bed. Reset the timer and repeat throughout the day. As the skill turns into second nature, you can fade the use of the timer over time. Don't assume that your child will learn this skill overnight. Practice makes perfect, so repeated instruction will likely be needed. Observe your child washing his or her hands and provide some feedback. Point out what your child is doing right and highlight what needs to change. Doing so will ensure that the hand washing isn't just a habit, but more importantly, a healthy habit. Have your child also provide you some feedback. You can turn this into a game. Take turns hand washing, and while you're hand washing, skip a step. See if your child can identify what you missed and provide you the feedback so that you can correctly wash your hands. This will make your child more amenable to the feedback that you give. Behaviors only persist over time when they are reinforced. So, it's important to ensure that hand washing results in a positive outcome for your child. Remember, as an adult, avoiding getting sick might be rewarding enough to get you to wash your hands regularly, but children may not be motivated by this result, and that's okay. We just have to teach them. At the beginning of each day, stamp your child's hand with a dark color. By the end of the day, if the stamp is no longer visible because your child has washed his or her hands enough to remove the ink, provide your child with a special reward. Think about reinforcers that will be especially motivating to your son or daughter and incorporate them into this reward system. Keep in mind, the rewards don't have to be huge. For some kids, just social praise is enough, and everyone is motivated by different things. So, as you can see, parents play an important role in transforming children's hand washing routines from a rush chore into a lifelong habit. Hand hygiene is learned in the same way that reading or riding a bike is, through effective teaching. So, if your child has not yet mastered the do's and don'ts of clean hands, use these behavior analytic steps to turn hand washing instruction into a family activity. Doing so will have wide reaching effects on not only reducing the spread of germs and likelihood of getting sick, but also helping children develop the self care social smarts that are essential to making and keeping friends. We hope you enjoyed this webinar, and we welcome you to check us out at the Hangout Spot LLC, both on Facebook and on Instagram. And coming soon on our website, www.thehangoutsspotllc.com, where we are currently accepting new friends.